Hello, welcome to Vyas, India's only higher education channel. I'm Sulina Menon. I've been in the field of advertising and mass communication for 25 years and have worked across clients, media owners, and media agencies. The experience has been useful in understanding how marketing works. While reading your books, learning concepts and theory is important, it is not enough to be a good marketer. It's equally important to be aware of what's going on around you and try and observe the consumers and retailers in the marketplace. This will definitely add to your learning process and help you understand how marketing concepts unfold in real life. The extra observation will put you 2 steps ahead of your fellow students and prepare you to land lucrative jobs and assignments. So without further delay, let's start with understanding the target segmentation and positioning, 2 very important decisions for a successful marketing plan. Target segmentation and positioning. As you're all aware that all marketing plans start with the target consumer. Target segmentation helps the marketer zero in and understand the consumer and ascertain the role that the product will play in the consumer's life. The consumer will buy the product only if he believes it is of value and satisfies a need in his life stage or lifestyle. Targeting defines who is the likely consumer for the product, and positioning determines what is the mind space that it occupies in the consumer's mind and how it is differentiated from other competitive offerings in the marketplace. Just think of your own perceptions about products. Colgate Max Fresh and Close Up are gel toothpastes. Yet, the position they hold in your mind are different and you most likely prefer one over the other. This is the marketer's plan working on you, the consumer. So without further delay, let's jump into understanding STP or segmenting, targeting, and positioning. Segmenting, as the simple English meaning suggests, this means dividing the market into distinct consumer groups. Targeting, here we identify a segment to target, and shortly we will understand how to target. Positioning, here we develop a strategy that positions the product in relation to competitors' appeal to the target group. Segmentation is dividing the market into distinct groups of buyers on the basis of needs, characteristics, and behavior. This is a relatively homogeneous group. A segment can thus be defined as a group of consumers who share characteristics and respond to a message. Segmentation has many benefits for the marketer. It's important to understand that all marketing is ultimately to deliver a business objective. In other words, make money for the marketer. Segmenting the market has many benefits, therefore, for the marketer. Let's look at the key benefits of segmentation. By segmenting the marketer can create consumer solutions, that is, product offerings matching with consumer needs. This motivates the consumer to buy the product and continue buying as the need is met to his satisfaction. As the consumer is now hooked on to the product, the marketer can make higher profits by raising the average price. You would have come across offers of introductory price, which is withdrawn soon after the product starts gaining acceptance in the market. What the marketer is simply doing here is making you try the product and raising the price once you, the consumer, is convinced of the offering. In effect, the marketer has raised the average price with a resultant increase in profits for business. Segmenting also helps the companies retain customers for a lifetime. By segmenting the market, they're able to have products that appeal to customers at different stages of their life or life cycle to prevent them from switching to competing products and brands. A good example of this would be the Colgate range of toothpastes. Colgate Herbal is for kids, Colgate is for all, Colgate Salt is for adults, and Colgate Max Fresh for youth. An obvious advantage of segmenting and defining a clear target audience is that the marketer can create and deliver appropriate communication for the target market. This helps the marketer draw attention and empathy to the product offering. By segmenting the marketer is able to focus on a set of consumers with similar needs and offer solutions based on that understanding. This helps the brand becomes the preferred choice in the defined segment, which in turn results in an increase in sales of the product and enhances the market share in the segment. So now you understand why defining a target market is very important and crucial step for marketing. There are millions of consumers out there in the market, each with their own needs. A single marketer cannot satisfy all the wants and needs of the consumer, nor are the marketer's products used by everyone. The marketer must define a homogeneous group of consumers who they believe are most likely prospects for purchasing their products. And this is the starting point for an efficient and effective marketing program. So let's now understand how does one define these consumers or prospects. There are various methods to do this. The key idea is to identify who they are, or the demographic profile, who they really are, the psychographic profile, and who they really are for us, or product users. Shortly, we'll understand what each one of these means and how it is approached. Let's first start with the demographic profile. Demographic profile. Demographics covers variables such as age, gender, family size, income, occupation, education, religion, race, and nationality. So demographic segmentation consists of dividing the market into groups based on these variables. Demographic segmentation is amongst the most basic and popular form of segmentation. And this is because of the fact that the consumer wants are closely linked to variables such as income and age. I'm sure if you look at yourself and the products that appeal to you, the list will be quite different from what appeals to your parents. Just think for a moment and you'll understand what I mean. This form of targeting is also popular, as for practical reasons, there is often much more data available to help with the demographic segmentation process. Let me explain to you some examples of demographic segments. If you are a marketer like Philips or Samsung, for example, and you want to market LCD TVs. LCD TVs are amongst the technology products, and mostly a decision on such products is taken by the male in the household. So the gender target will be male. As the price of the product is higher than that of a regular TV, it implies the consumer must belong to an income bracket where affordability of a LCD TV is not an issue. Given that the cheapest LCD will cost Rs 25,000, the man of the house must have a monthly household income over that number. And obviously, he needs to be employed and well settled, which generally happens at 25 years of age. So the target group for LCD TV will be males, 25 years plus, monthly household income of Rs 25,000 plus. Let's look at another example. Say you're marketing packaged fruit juice. Typically, the decision maker for food products in the household is the mother or wife. She is particularly sensitive if there are young children in the household. She wants to give them the best nutrition and keep them insulated from the junk food that is available in plenty and obviously loved by the child. A glass of fruit juice is any day welcome over a glass of cola to the mother, as it is high on nutrition for the child. So for a fruit juice marketer, she becomes a key segment to target for the product. Demographically, therefore, the audience can be defined as women 25 years plus with children between 4 and 14 years of age. Now it leads to another question. How does the marketer really ascertain the size of these targeted segments or the number of consumers in the target group? Well, there's loads of research available to marketers to refer to for making this decision. The researches really range from large-scale census-type syndicated research to a small bespoke research by the marketer. Let's now understand the other way of profiling the consumers that helps the marketer understand consumer behavior, attitudes, and motivation. I'm here talking about the psychographic profile. Psychographic profile. This is very important. Just think if a demographic segment is identified as women 35 years plus. Now that would include your mother, me, and would also include Sonia Gandhi and perhaps even your maid. But are we similar in our thinking, behavior, and motivations? The answer is a clear no. So a marketer needs to look beyond the understanding of the demographic profile. It is critical to understand the target consumer's deeper personality and attitudes. By doing that, the marketer then gets to the pulse of what motivates the consumer and drives them in their life, how they perceive the world, the people around them, their concept of self and others. Let me give you an example. We have two women, one a housewife, another a working woman belonging to the age group of 25 to 34 years. Do you think their attitudes to a packaged ready-made ginger garlic paste will be similar? Or on a larger scale, their attitude to convenience products? Obviously, we need to understand their lifestyles and attitudes to ascertain who will be an easier target to convert. Let's therefore look at the life and mindsets of these two women. The housewife, the home is the center of her focus and she wants to give her best to it. In fact, she believes that her home is the basis of her existence and she must give her best efforts to it. She serves the best and the freshest food to the family and takes great pride and effort in meal preparation for the family. She makes an effort to prepare fresh masalas to be used in the food and is averse to any product that is a shortcut to the process. She is less likely to try out a packaged ginger garlic paste. The working woman, on the other hand, is independent and believes that she has an identity beyond home and hearth. She loves working and wants to do her best at both places. She is hard-pressed for time and is constantly struggling to be the mother and the manager 24 hours a day. She welcomes any help that she may get in reducing the efforts and gain time and is open to trying the products that allow her for that. She is more likely to try out a packaged ginger garlic paste than the housewife, as it saves her time and effort. Of course, the final product has to deliver results for her to keep buying it again and again. Many such examples can be drawn. And to bring it closer home to you, just think of yourself and your classmates. You all belong to the same demographics of age, but you are all unique with respect to your mindsets and attitudes. And so are your motivations. Psychographic segmentation is also often referred to as behavioral segmentation. This type of segmentation divides the market into groups according to customers' lifestyles and behavior patterns. It considers a number of potential influences on buying behavior, including attitudes, expectations, and activities of consumers. If these are known, then the products and marketing campaigns can be customized so that they appeal more specifically to consumer motivations. One of the important tools that marketers use to understand this is Maslow's theory, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. This concept was first introduced in 1943 by psychologist Abraham Maslow in his paper, A Theory of Human Motivation, and his subsequent book, Motivation and Personality, that people are motivated to fulfill their basic needs before moving on to other needs. Please focus on the graphic on the screen. As you can see, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is most often displayed as a pyramid. The lowest levels of the pyramid are made up of the most basic needs, while the more complex needs are at the top of the pyramid. The basic needs are basic physical requirements, including the need for food, water, sleep, and warmth. Once these lower level needs have been met, people can move on to the next level of needs, which are for safety and security. Security needs are important for survival, but they are not as demanding as the physiological needs. Examples of security needs include a desire for a steady employment, health insurance, safe neighborhoods, and shelter from the environment. As people progress up the pyramid, the needs become increasingly psychological and social. Soon, the need for love, friendship, and intimacy become important. Relationships such as friendships, romantic attachments, and family help fulfill this need for companionship and acceptance, and also involvement in social, community, or religious groups. After the first three needs have been satisfied, esteem needs become increasingly important. These include the need for things that reflect on self-esteem, personal worth, social recognition, and accomplishment. And at the top of the pyramid, the need for personal esteem and feelings of accomplishment now take priority. Here, Maslow emphasized the importance of self-actualization, which is a process of growing and developing as a person to achieve individual potential. The marketer needs to understand the stage of need of consumer and provide a solution accordingly to appeal more specifically to the consumer. Product usage segmentation. Product usage, as the name applies, is the segmenting of consumers according to their usage of products and brands. Example, Vatika hair oil choose to target users of Parachute coconut oil. Research showed them that they were users who were looking at coconut oil plus for their hair, and the product success is etched in history. Today, Vatika is a very well-entrenched brand in the hair care category. This route enables the marketer to look at the product market in many unique ways and ascertain the likely potential of the market. It is important to define the audiences as specifically as possible, and there are multiple parameters that one needs to keep in mind for the same. It is a must to map the size of the targeted segment, and it should have sufficient number of people to make it profitable. If the target audience definition is too narrow, then the number of consumers may be too little to meet sales targets and hence profits. Ultimately, this will impact the profit margins of the business. When choosing the target segment, keep the long-term objectives of the brand in mind. Is the segment crucial to the long-term growth potential of the brand? This is beautifully executed by Dove. It has chosen to address women across age groups, keeping in mind the needs and concerns to be addressed at each stage. Today, brand Dove is in a position where it can enter any women personal care product field and find product acceptance. So from granddaughter to grandmother are all potential targets for Dove. Of course, these must address the specific need for each segment. Hence, the chosen segment should account for intensity of competition or clutter in the market as well as potential competition. The growth potential of the audience should also be considered for long-term growth potential of the brand. After all, it's all about a business proposition of making profits through satisfying consumer needs. Positioning. Let's now talk about positioning. The concept was popularized by L. Rees and Jack Trout in 1981 in their book called Positioning: The Battle for Your Mind. With the increasing clutter in the marketplace, the role of positioning is very important in the life of a product or a brand. While the concept begins with the product, the concept is really about positioning the products in the consumer's mind. It enables targeting and communication to a defined target audience and helps the marketer make a differentiated product offering vis-a-vis competition. Important to remember is that the consumer perception once formed is difficult to change and requires lots of effort. The marketer needs to focus on simple messages that the consumer can relate to, and they should be consistent with their knowledge and experience. This is particularly important because the consumer is bombarded with many messages from all around, and in coping with that information overload, tend to shut out messages that conflict with their prior experience. There are various positioning strategies that a brand can adopt. Positioning by attribute, associating the product with a desirable attribute. For example, Head and Shoulders Anti-Dandruff Shampoo.
मिलिए फिल्म स्टार पूजा बत्रा से।
लोग कहते हैं पूजा कैमरा को तुमसे प्यार है, पर पहले मैं और क्लोजअप्स ना बाबा ना। इन बालों में डैंड्रफ था, कई शैम्पू ट्राई किए, लेकिन डैंड्रफ फिर वापस। तभी मुझे मिला नया हेड एंड शोल्डर्स।
नया हेड एंड शोल्डर्स डैंड्रफ शैम्पू।
By price and quality, being exceptional at the highest or the lowest price. The product has to be priced right at the right level to reflect the quality offer. Positioning by use of application. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. It really signifies a break when you don't feel like having tea or coffee. Positioning by professional user. Establishing the brand as a preferred choice for professional users. Example, Oral-B or Colgate tooth care products being endorsed by dentists.
सड़न वही होती है जहां ब्रश नहीं पहुंच पाता। कोलगेट का कैल्शियम और मिनरल्स फॉर्मूला हर जगह फैले और दे दांतों की सड़न से मैक्सिमम सुरक्षा कोने कोने तक।
देखो, मैंने झूले को सड़ने से बचाया। ये कोलगेट जैसे।
सड़न से सुरक्षा कोने कोने तक। कोलगेट डेंटिस्ट का सुझाव नंबर 1 ब्रांड।
Associating the brand with a class of product it does not belong to. Dove is 1/4 moisturizing cream, is an attempt by Dove to differentiate it from regular bathing soaps.
Dove is different. Enriched with 1/4 moisturizer, your skin is softer all over. Feel the difference.
Positioning with respect to competition. Vatika is better than regular coconut oil.
वाटिका में है शुद्ध नारियल तेल के साथ आंवला, लेमन और हेना का एक्स्ट्रा पोषण। कॉन्फिडेंस हेल्दी बालों का।
A few things to keep in mind while deciding positioning strategies. The positioning must be clear. Have a clear position that your brand must occupy. A brand position cannot stand for too many things or the positioning becomes diffused. Maggi clearly stands for convenience for the entire range of products and just that. The position must be consistent. The brand must have a consistent message across packaging, promotion, and not to forget the product itself. The position must be credible. It should arise from consumer insight and create an empathy with the consumer. Axe used the consumer insight that guys want more than just to smell decent. Their true hope is to capture attention of the opposite sex.
What is going on? This is unbelievable. This must be the X effect.
The positioning process involves understanding consumer behavior, insight, and capturing consumer mind space by developing a position for each product. Then, an appropriate communication mix for positioning. So this, friends, is target segmentation and positioning. Look around you and try to work out who the target segment is for a brand and what's the positioning. And I can guarantee you that you will start to recognize the method to this madness of marketing. Thank you and see you again soon.